If you are setting up or trying to set up an esports, an area or a space, what you can use, find a dedicated space. Work out if you need or if you can spend any budget. There are various methods to do it where it's from hardly any budget at all, I mean under £3,000 for instance, up until you can spend whatever you want. If you're going to get a company in to give you a quote, be very careful because the companies will want to sell you what they want to sell you. Find out what you need to do budget-wise and the best way to do that from the budget that you have. Don't just go out and buy a load of equipment when you think this is the cutting edge, the best stuff going. Because if you don't know how to use it or it's too complicated for your staff to use, then it's worthless to you. However much money you spend on a facility, it's not that what makes something good. It's the people's minds and it's the students' minds and how to extract their ideas out and realise their ideas. The equipment's kind of secondary to that. So it's the level of teaching and the level of knowledge the staff have on how they teach on that bit of equipment. So you need to have that in place, you need to have the skill set involved in that. Our IT department here is very helpful. We've got a few members of staff in the IT team who are just open to helping us out. So they're able to do it in a certain way. The way we log on here, obviously log on to a domain like most people do, but they've opened up a couple of machines for us to have accounts what only the staff have, but it's a generic account for the staff just on 2 machines. We're able to log onto them machines because the way we've got our set up with like vMix and Stream Decks and things like that, if you log on as a different user on them machines for instance, then all the settings are wiped. With the safety of our students, we obviously make sure that they consent to having their images used all the time. With esports, it's a lot of the time they're fine to do that because they're willing to put themselves in front of the camera. The only issue really, it's not really the students, it's a copyright issue. So once you start streaming, you've got to be really, really careful what content you put out there because it's open to copyright infringement. With the chat facility, they use Discord a lot of the time. You've got to educate students on safety all the time. We've just got to, I suppose, make sure that they're aware of the kind of dangers and make sure that they realise what they're representing this college, and if anything happened where they are abusive to anyone, then we would have to take the appropriate steps.
I think it's important for any centre to focus on developments in education, and esports is quite high up there in terms of responding to what the industry wants. So I would absolutely encourage centres to run an esports qualification, but what I would encourage them to do is to try to make sure that you have the facilities to run it.